Good morning, students. Our chapter number second, microorganisms, friend and foe, is going on. In that, we learn meaning of microorganisms, types of microorganisms, useful microorganisms, how microorganisms are useful for us, and harmful microorganisms, in which various way the microorganisms are harmful for us, and food poisoning. Today, we will see the remaining part of this chapter. Now, our next point is food preservation. See the point, food preservation. In the chapter first, we learn about the methods used to preserve, store food grains, preserve and store the food grains. In chapter first, crop production and management, we learn that how to store the food grains. Now here one question is that how do we preserve cooked food at home? We are preserving cooked food at, we are keeping in a refrigerator at low temperature. You know that the bread left unused under moist condition is attacked by fungus. We are aware about that. When bread is left unused in the rainy season, in the humidity, when humidity is more in the atmosphere, that time it is attacked by fungus. Microorganisms spoil our food. In food poisoning, we are aware about that microorganisms spoil the food. Spoiled food emits bad smell and has a bad taste and changed color. When food is spoiled, when we say the food is spoiled, food emits bad smell, it has bad taste and changes its color. That time we can say that food is spoiled. Is spoiled food, spoiling of food is chemical reaction. Now in physical change and chemical change chapter in the 7th standard and changes around us in 6th standard, we are aware about that what is the chemical reaction, what is the chemical change, and what is the physical change. Here when spoiled food, when spoiling of food, it is a chemical change, because the chemicals in the food, present in the food, it will be changes, and that's why it gives bad smell, bad taste, and change in the color. Now Paheli brought some mangoes, but she could not eat them for a few days. Later, she found that they were spoiled and rotten. But she knows that the mango pickles her grandmother makes does not spoil for a long time, and she is confused. Here, what is the reason we will see in the next part. Here, see, let us study some common methods. Let us study some common methods to preserve food in our homes, and we have to prevent it from the attack of microorganisms. We have to preserve the food in such a way that it cannot be attacked by the microorganisms. First method, chemical method. Chemical method. We can apply these methods in home also. Household methods are there. Here, chemical methods. First one, salts and edible oils are common chemicals generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. The growth of microorganisms. Salts and edible oils are called as common chemicals, and generally it is used to check the growth of microorganisms. Therefore, it is called preservative. Preservatives संरक्षण करणारे. And we add salt or acid preservatives to pickles to prevent the attack of microorganisms. To prevent the attack of microorganisms, sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are common preservatives. These are the chemicals. These are the chemicals. That's why it is mentioned a chemical method. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfate are the common preservatives. These are also used in jam squashes to check their spoilage. These are mixed with jams and squashes to check their spoilage. And the next point is preservation by common salt. Preservation by common salt. Common salt, our we are using in our daily food. This is a common salt. Common salt has been used to preserve meat and fish for ages. For ages. भरपूर वर्षापासून मीठ आणि फिश, मटन आणि मासे हे प्रिझर्व करून ठेवण्यासाठी मिठाचा उपयोग केला जातो. मीट अँड फिश आर कवर्ड विथ ड्राय साल्ट टू चेक द ग्रोथ ऑफ बॅक्टेरिया. मीट अँड फिश आर कवर्ड विथ ड्राय साल्ट अँड चेक the growth of bacteria, and salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, and tamarind. Amla, raw mangoes, and tamarind. Here this also used as a preservative method. Next one, preservation by sugar. Jams, jellies, and squashes are preserved by sugar. Sugar reduces the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria which spoiled food. Now sugar, how we use the sugar. In jams, jellies, and squashes, sugar is used. Sugar is used, and sugar reduces the moisture which is present in that particular food material, and because the moisture is not present, bacteria cannot be growth on that. That's why the food will be prevent from the spoiling. In this way we can use sugar also. Preservation by oil and vinegar. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage of pickles because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. Vegetables, fruits, fish, and meat are often preserved by this method. Now you are aware about that in pickles, lot of oil they are using. Lot of oil they are using. Why they are using the oil? Because oil is act as a preservative. It acts as a preservative in, suppose in material, in food material, much more oil will be there. That time bacteria cannot grow in that, and that's why the food will be prevent from the spoilage. Vegetables also, fruits, fish, and meat are often preserved by this method. Those are also preserved by this method. Now the next one, heat and cold treatment. Heat and cold treatment, we are aware about that, this concept we will see. You must have observed your mother boiling milk before it's stored or used. Boiling kills many microorganisms. Boiling kills many microorganisms. Similarly, we keep our food in the refrigerator. Low temperature inhibits the growth of microbes. I already told that starting of this point. We are protecting our food material. We are keeping in the cooked food material. We are keeping in the refrigerator for what? Low temperature. Here boiling. When we are preparing any food material or any food material, that time when we are boiling, that time what happen? Boiling kills the microorganisms. Boiling kills the microorganisms which is present in that food material, and afterwards when we are keeping the food material into the refrigerator, that time what happen? In refrigerator low temperature will be there, and this low temperature inhibits the growth of microorganisms. It stops the growth of microorganisms. Here one question is that why does the milk that comes in packets not spoil? Comes in packets not spoil. Here the milk which is we are buying from the bakery, which is present in the pack, which is available in the packets, and it not be spoiled. It not be spoiled because the pasteurization process. Because the pasteurization process which is discovered by the scientist Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. Now we will see. Pasteurized milk can be consumed with boiling. Can be consumed with boiling as it is free from harmful microbes. As it is free from harmful microbes. The milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes, and this process was discovered by the Louis Pasteur, and it is called pasteurization. Now pasteurized milk, how they are preparing the pasteurized milk? They are taking the milk and heated it about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds, just only for 15 to 30 seconds, and suddenly they chilled, they cooled that, and they are stored that milk. And by this process it prevents the growth of microorganisms, and this process was discovered by the Louis Pasteur, the scientist Louis Pasteur. On the name on his, it is given the method was method was given the name pasteurization. The name was given for this method, pasteurization. Now the next one, storage and packing, and most important, storage and packing. How to store and how to pack the food materials. These days dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. We are aware about that in the air many more microorganisms are there. That time when we are keeping the material at the open space, that time what will be happen? Microorganisms attack on that particular food material. For that purpose we have to keep the food material, we have to store the food material in airtight containers that prevent the attack of microorganisms, because in a airtight container air cannot be go inside. That's why microorganisms also they cannot be go inside, and it prevents the attack of microorganisms, and our food remains healthy. Now the next point is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. You have learned about the bacterium rhizobium in class 6th and 7th already told at the starting of the chapter also, rhizobium, about rhizobium. It is involved in the fixation of nitrogen in leguminous plant pulses. ज्या डाळींची रोपं असतात, डाळी ज्यामधून घेतो त्या प्लांटच्या रोपांमध्ये, ज्या प्लांटच्या रूटमध्ये हा प्रेझेंट असतो. Recall the rhizobiums lives in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. Rhizobium which is present in the root nodules of these leguminous plant such as beans and peas, with which it has a symbiotic relationship. We already learned this concept in the chapter first, crop production and management. What is the symbiotic relationship? And in 7th standard also, nutrition in plant, how they are depend on each other. Here symbiotic relationship I will explain you again. Here what happened, the rhizobium converts the nitrogen, air nitrogen into the soluble form, and which will be absorbed by the plants, which will be absorbed by the plant roots, and they are preparing for the food material, and which food material they are preparing, that on that rhizobium lives there. Here it is called a symbiotic relation, depends on each other. Sometimes nitrogen get fixed through the action of lightning. Sometimes नायट्रोजन गेट फिक्स्ड थ्रू द ॲक्शन ऑफ लाइटनिंग विजा कडकणे. ज्यावेळेस अवकाळी पाऊस होतो, ज्यावेळेस विजा चमकतात, त्यावेळेस ज्या विजा चमकतात त्यावेळेस सुद्धा नायट्रोजन फिक्सेशन होतं. बट यू नो दॅट द अमाऊंट ऑफ नायट्रोजन इन द ॲटमॉस्फिअर रिमेन्स कॉन्स्टंट. वी आर अवेअर अबाउट दॅट. इन द ॲटमॉस्फिअर 78% नायट्रोजन is present. You may wonder how. Let us understand in the next section. We will see in the next section. Here next point is nitrogen cycle. Here before that we will see the figure, roots of leguminous plant with root nodules. Here on the root nodule you can see some points are there. They are leguminous plant with their roots of leguminous plant with the root nodules. Now the next point, nitrogen cycle. We are aware about that our atmosphere has 78% of nitrogen gas. Nitrogen is one of the essential constituents of all living organisms as part of proteins, chlorophylls, nucleic acids and vitamins. Nitrogen is essential for all living organisms. Here we are for our body, oxygen is required. In this way also nitrogen contents also required, because it is a part of protein, chlorophyll, nucleic acids and vitamins. The atmospheric nitrogen cannot be taken directly by plants and animals. We are not taking in which way we are taking oxygen, and which way plants taking carbon dioxide. In that way we cannot take the nitrogen in our body. In certain bacteria and blue-green algae present in the soil fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert into the compounds nitrogen. Some bacteria which is present in the soil and blue-green algae which is present in the soil, which fix the nitrogen from the air into the soil and convert into the compounds of nitrogen. Once nitrogen is converted in these usable compounds, it can be utilized by the plants from the soil through their root system. When these nitrogen will be converted into the usable compounds, that time it can be utilized by the plant from the soil through the root system. Nitrogen is then used for the synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. Then the plants, they are using the nitrogen for the synthesis of protein and other compounds. And the animal, we are aware about that, they are directly or indirectly depend upon the plant. When the animals, they are feeding on the plants, get these proteins and other nitrogen compounds from the plants. We are not taking nitrogen directly, we are depend upon the plant. And when plant they are preparing their food, that time when they are using the nitrogen, these nitrogenous compounds and proteins, when animals they are eating, that time it will be transferred to the animal. In this way nitrogen is useful for is required for plants also and animals also. When plants and animals die, bacteria and fungi present in the soil convert the nitrogenous wastage into the nitrogenous compounds to be used by plant again. We are aware about that when any plants or animal will be died, that time what happen, which is the bacteria which is present in the soil, they convert them into the humus. That time the nitrogen soil convert the nitrogen waste which present nitrogen in plant also, in animal also, which is present. This nitrogen waste converted into the nitrogenous compound and to be used by plant again, which is again mixed with the soil, and it can be again used by the upgrowing plants. Certain other bacteria convert some part of them into nitrogen gas, which goes back into the atmosphere. And some other bacteria, what happen, some other bacteria convert some part of the nitrogen into the gaseous form, and which goes into the again atmosphere. As a result, the present percentage of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains more or less constant. In this way, the cycle process is going on. The percentage of nitrogen and atmosphere in the atmosphere will be remains constant. Here, when nitrogen cycle was mentioned a downside, I will explain you here. At the upper side, atmospheric nitrogen will be there. Here, see, upper side atmospheric nitrogen will be there. Now it will be fixed by the nitrogen fixes bacteria and blue-green algae from the atmospheric nitrogen, and from the lightning also it will be fixes. From the bacteria and blue-green algae it will be fixes, and bacteria in turn fix nitrogen into the nitrogenous compound. Now the compounds of nitrogen in the soil, present in the soil, it taken by the plants, uptake by the plants, upper side, right hand side. In animals, eat the plant. From the plants it's transferred to the animals, and when both are died, animals and plant, that time nitrogen waste from the excretion and death again converted into the compounds of nitrogen in the soil, and that time some nitrogenous compounds will be converted into from the bacteria, turns compounds of nitrogen into the gaseous nitrogen, and again it mixed with the atmospheric nitrogen. In this way, whole nitrogen cycle will be going on in such a way that our water cycle will be there. In the same way that this nitrogen cycle was mentioned here. Here atmospheric nitrogen converted by lightning fixes nitrogen, then nitrogen fixing bacteria and blue-green algae from atmospheric nitrogen. Bacteria turn the nitrogen into the nitrogenous compound. It mixes with the soil, and plant take that. Afterwards, animal eat the plant. When both died, that time what happened? Nitrogen waste from the excretion and death, and it again converted into the from the bacteria. It converted into the compounds of nitrogen present with mixed with the soil, and some bacteria will convert this nitrogen waste into the nitrogen gas, and which will be mixed with the atmospheric nitrogen. In this way, nitrogen cycle is going on. Today our this chapter, microorganisms, friend and foe, is completed. I will send you the PDF. We have to solve question and answers. Thank you.